Yo, welcome to the show. It's Boston's Banter with Frank the Bank and Keith KLava. You know the answer. Talking sports, breaking down the play so raw. From the Celtics to the Sox, we giving you the score. Catch the vibe, we coming live. Filling up your feed, let the passion thrive. Every dunk, every run, we analyze the moves. Shout out to the fans, feel the rhythm and grooves. From Gillette to the Garden, we ain't missing a beat. Frank and KLava bring the fire, can't accept defeat.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is pissa. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith KLava, LaCava. What's going on, Victor Brolo Depot?
Hey, nothing much, Anquan Brolden.
Anquan Brolden in the house. Your boy Anthony, his second time winning.
2 out of 3 weeks.
I'm saying he's done good. Good job, Anthony, on the stat challenge last week. This week, we got another 2 cards. We're going to do it a little different because we've had a lot of close guesses. So
yeah, we have.
The person that's the closest is going to win the Drake Maye by Storm rookie. This is a really cool card. But we want rushing and passing of just the Patriots team this week. So passing yards, rushing yards. Whoever's the closest wins with the Drake Maye by Storm rookie card. Whoever's the second closest wins the Ramondre Stevenson rookie card. So good luck this week. Let's jump right into the Wicked Pissah News.
Yes, sir, Frankie. Here we are again, Wicked Pissah News. And we're actually going to start off, like always, with the Bruins update.
I'm going to give them
They're
one of
starting
these
to look
right
good,
now.
man.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So the Bruins are currently sitting at 10-7 on the season. They actually sit at second in the Atlantic Division.
I know, they just jumped all the way up. It's
Dude,
crazy.
way ahead of the Panthers, too, and everything.
Killing it.
Let's bring up what they did this past week. So they won 4-3 in a shootout versus the Islanders in New York last Tuesday, followed by a 3-2 win in overtime at home versus Senators last Thursday.
Yeah.
And lastly, a 5-3 road win over the Maple Leafs this past Saturday, bro.
I'm saying it's been a great week. They won 6 straight games going back 2 weeks now since since 2 episodes ago.
Yep. I know.
3-2 overtime win. They won a couple games by 1, which we talked about. We want to win by games by 1. I mean,
yes, sir.
The one game against Ottawa, they were actually down 1 after 1, up 1 going into the third. And then Ottawa tied it up, unfortunately. But with only 5.6 seconds left in the game, in overtime,
yes, sir.
Zacha put it home. So Pavel Zacha with the game winner there. And then the Maple Leafs, I felt like we really put it on the Maple Leafs, actually. We were really like... The offensive pressure was amazing. I thought how even the defense pinching down, but they just played really good against the Maple Leafs, I thought.
Yeah, man, They're starting to look good, brother. You know, they weren't looking good to start the season. It's still early, like we said, man. They're turning it around.
I'm saying, yeah, and I like to see in that same game, the Maple Leafs, and what I like to see from your superstar is that Pasternak had 7 shots on goal.
There you go.
So you like to see him shooting as much as possible. So that was another one. So
yes,
let's jump over to the Celtics, though.
Yes, sir, Frankie. Celtics update, man.
Yep.
So, they're currently sitting at 5-6 on the season, 10th in the Eastern Conference and everything. So it's been up and down, but let's break it down what they did this past week. So they beat the Wizards 136-107 in Boston last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown had 35 points, but Josh Minott providing some good minutes, 21 points. And the guy, he never averaged over 3 points per game his whole career with Minnesota. He's now averaging nearly 10. Still early, but still, man, he's looking like a good acquisition.
Great.
Absolutely. Followed by a 123-110 road loss versus the Magic last Friday. And lastly, a 111-107 road win over the Magic this past Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, they played back-to-back against the Magic. I mean, they got killed one game and then won. They're playing better, but still, I feel like it's going to be a long road for them.
Yes, sir. All right, Frankie, let's get over to some NFL news, man. And unfortunately, we have another sudden passing in the
crazy.
NFL,
Yeah, this
man.
was a crazy story if you
very
haven't
sad.
heard this.
Very sad. So Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneelands died this past Thursday at 24 years old from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Apparently, he texted his family goodbye and he told his girlfriend that he was armed and he was going to end it all late Wednesday night. Then he apparently led state troopers on a pursuit when they attempted to stop him for a traffic violation. He was driving at a high rate of speed. Troopers then lost sight of the vehicle until eventually they found the car had crashed and Kneelands had taken off on foot. Police then searched the immediate area and found him deceased from, like I said, a self-inflicted gunshot wound, man. Very sad. He was a 2024 second-round pick of the Cowboys out of Western Michigan, and he had 15 total tackles, 1 sack, and even played last Monday versus the Cardinals, and he did this. Let's show the clip.
O'Donnell has it blocked into the end zone in a race. And a touchdown. Sam Williams blocked it. Kneelands the touchdown. And Kneelands won that race to the end zone.
The guy recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A few days before he died.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I've heard different stories about his girlfriend's pregnant, but not with his baby, and you hear different things like that. But
yeah, prayers to his friends, teammates, you know, like you just said, his girlfriend, family. Very difficult time, especially for the Cowboys organization. So
it's so crazy.
Rest in peace, Marshawn Kneelands. Frankie, so we brought up this story back in May, bro, and we're now getting some updates on it, so let's bring it up real quick. So former NFL star wide receiver Antonio Brown was arrested on an attempted murder charge stemming from a shooting after a celebrity boxing event like I was just talking about back in May in Miami. He was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals in Dubai. The guy was all the way in Dubai, bro.
Well, they allowed extradition on this, and it was just one of those things. It was crazy.
Right. He's being accused of grabbing a handgun like we were talking about back in May from a security staffer after the boxing match and fired 2 shots at a man he had been in a fist fight with. Apparently, one of the bullets grazed his neck. He was initially detained following the events and then let go a few hours later, but then a warrant was later issued for Brown's arrest on June 11th. He's been sought since.
Yeah, I mean, about 10 minutes ago, he just pled not guilty to the charges, actually. This is literally 10 minutes ago we got the updates.
Oh, dude. So a second-degree attempted murder charge carries a maximum of 15 years in prison. And what a fall from grace from one of the NFL's most gifted wide receivers from the 2010s, Frankie.
He fell off. He fell off the rails.
Guy could have been a Hall of Famer.
He was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
I don't even know.
And it's crazy the way he left the NFL. We always bring it up. You know, he didn't just retire in, regular fashion. The dude ripped his jersey and his pads off and ran off the field.
Yeah, insane.
With Tom Brady as the quarterback.
I don't even know what's going through.
What are you doing, bro? And Frankie, we got some more NFL news here. And this just seemed inevitable, man. It was going to happen.
I thought this was going to happen a long time ago.
Oh, yes. Let's bring it up real quick. So the Giants fired head coach Brian Daboll after the team blew another double-digit lead this past Sunday versus the Bears. Daboll, who was hired back in 2022, leading the Giants to their first playoff berth since 2016. And that same year, he won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he did.
So it was looking like a good start and everything. He's been a good assistant coach with teams. He was with the Patriots. He was with the Bills. Now he went to the Giants, led them to the playoffs, but then everything went downhill from there, brother. Daboll finished 20-40-1 with the Giants, only making the playoffs that one lone season. And surprised they kept their GM. They fired him. They kept the GM, who hasn't been making good moves at all. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this seemed inevitable, and now assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka will be the interim head coach.
Yeah, that whole story is crazy. I mean, honestly, too, it's like you watch that game. They were up 10 with 4:23 left, bro. And I blame myself, but I lost in your league. We'll get to that, but because I took Caleb Williams out last minute, Caleb Williams had 8 points with 4 minutes left in the game, and then he ended up with 27.
Yeah,
I mean that's inexcusable that they gave up that many points, in the last 4 minutes of a game. Anyway,
yeah, it was time, bro. He had to go. So let's see where he lands next. Well, Frankie, let's get into the notable NFL injuries, bro. And again, another one of my guys from my fantasy team. He's actually second time getting hurt, but let's break it down real quick. So we'll start with Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid. He suffered a hamstring injury in Sunday's loss versus the Dolphins. Did not return. He's considered week to week. And another notable tight end here, Chargers tight end Aronde Gadsden suffered a bruised quad Sunday versus the Steelers. He's considered day to day. Giants quarterback Jackson Dart suffered a concussion Sunday versus the Bears. Did not return. He could miss this upcoming week, I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's his 4th evaluation already.
I know.
I know they didn't say he had it before, but he's getting evaluated like every other week, it seems.
Got to take it easy, bro. And here he is, my boy, man, getting hurt again. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson suffered another knee injury in Sunday's win versus the Browns. He could miss 3 to 4 weeks. Frankie, he might as well not even have played. He had 0 points for me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Jets suck, dude.
They're terrible.
And lastly, Jags wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter. He's actually undergoing surgery to repair his LCL, and he's actually going to miss the rest of the season.
I know. At first, they thought he'd be back in 3 to 4 weeks because he was on IR, the mid-season IR, but unfortunately, now he's out for the year.
Yeah, so Hunter finishes the year with 28 receptions, 298 yards, 1 touchdown, 15 total tackles, and 3 passes defensed.
Yep.
See how he does next year. But good stuff, Frankie.
You too. Another great Wicked Pissah news. Let's get into another Foxboro focus.
Every week, hit that button, Frankie. Every week.
Crazy, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But before we get into the Week 10 recap of the Bucs game, we actually got some interesting news here.
Yep.
So legendary former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski will sign a one-day contract and officially retire with the Patriots. He's a Patriot for life, like he said, and he wanted to be. Gronkowski, who was a second-round pick of the Pats in 2010 out of Arizona, was an essential piece to 3 Patriots championships in the 2010s, along with being a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, receiving touchdown leader in 2011, his second year in the league, and most importantly, one of Tom Brady's favorite targets. It's only right he retires with us. The Bucs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm glad we got Gronk retiring with us, but he's going to go down to the NFL Hall of Fame eventually as well.
Oh, for sure.
But Frankie, let's get into that Week 10 recap,
brother. That was a beautiful thing.
So the Patriots, they beat the Bucs 28-23, bringing their record to 8-2. And not only that, Frankie, they're 5-0 on the road this season.
5-0.
Yes, sir, Frankie. Let's show the highlights real quick.
Week 10, Patriots versus Bucs. Opening drive of the game, the Bucs got down to the red zone, and Baker Mayfield off the play action is looking for rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, and he's going to be taking it in for a 21-yard touchdown to put the Bucs up 7-0 to start the game. Then we're going to fast forward to the end of the first quarter after a few punts from each team, and off the play action, Drake Maye is going to be looking for his rookie wide receiver Kyle Williams getting involved, and he's turning on the Jets, and he's going to be taking it all the way for a 72-yard touchdown to tie the game up. Fast forward to the middle of the second quarter, and the Bucs are settling for a 36-yard field goal by kicker Chase McLaughlin to put them up 10-7. Following Patriots drive with 2 seconds left in the half, and on 4th and goal, they're going for it, and quarterback Drake Maye is looking for his veteran wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who makes a nice 1-yard toe-tapping touchdown to take the lead. High point to the ball, and 1, 2, and that's a tutty. Start of the second half, and 2 plays into this drive, Drake Maye is going to be handing it to rookie running back Travion Henderson, who finds the hole, and he's going to be taking it all the way for a 55-yard touchdown. This kid got some wheels. Fast forward to the end of the third quarter, the Bucs got down to the red zone, and Baker Mayfield's feeling the pressure and rolling out, and he's going to be looking for wide receiver Tez Johnson for a 10-yard touchdown. The Bucs would go for 2, and it would be unsuccessful. Baker under pressure, he's keeping the poise, and he still finds Tez Johnson right there on the sideline for the nice touchdown. Fast forward towards the middle of the fourth quarter in a 5-point game, and Drake Maye is going to be bombing it downfield for his other veteran wide receiver, Mac Hollins, for a big 54-yard gain. 3rd and goal for the Patriots on the 3-yard line, trying to extend the lead, and Drake Maye is trying to extend the play. He's rolling out, he's looking for somebody, and he's going to be forcing it into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Tyke Smith. Very unfortunate. Following Bucs drive after the interception, and Baker Mayfield on 4th and 3 is feeling the pressure from KLava, Chason, and a few other guys, and somehow still gets the ball to running back Rachaad White, but he's going to be tackled for a 3-yard loss, and it's a turnover on downs. Patriots next possession, they're just trying to ice the clock and get away with the victory, and Drake Maye is going to be pitching it to running back Travion Henderson, who breaks some tackles. He's hitting the outside and turning the Jets. This kid got some wheels, and he's taking it for a 69-yard touchdown. You see him looking at the sideline over there, and his coach making sure he should score, if he should go down. They wanted him to score, man. Yep, and that should do it for the Patriots there. Next Bucs possession, even though they are down 12 points, they did get back down to the red zone, and Baker Mayfield again is going to be looking for wide receiver Tez Johnson for an 11-yard touchdown. It doesn't matter. Too little, too late. Bucs down by 5 in desperation mode, and they're going to be doing an onside kick, and wide receiver is Stephon Diggs, who gets nailed, but he gets the ball, and yep, the Patriots are in victory formation. They're going to be winning this one on the road in Tampa Bay, 28-23 to bring their record to 8-2. Let's go, baby. Our 7th straight win.
What a game, man.
It was unbelievable to watch. It was great.
Man, what a test, too. That was probably our last hardest game of the schedule.
I know. Again,
we
could be undefeated right now.
That's
too.
what I'm
we
saying,
literally could
bro.
be undefeated. We probably should be.
The Raiders, I mean, that was weird. And
Again,
then
it
the
was just
Steelers,
because it was the
5
first
turnovers.
week, but the 5 turnovers against Pittsburgh,
Crazy,
crazy.
bro.
We were up at halftime.
That's
like
what
I
I'm
say
saying.
every time, we're up at halftime against the Raiders.
2 turnovers on the goal line, too. So like you said, we technically could be undefeated.
Unreal. We're playing out of our minds.
Yes, we are. But this is what I noticed from the offense, Frankie. So they unleashed Travion Henderson, and he showed what he can do, even against an 8th-ranked Bucs run defense. 14 carries, 147 yards, and 2 long touchdowns.
He should have went down on that last one, in my opinion.
He was looking at the coaches.
And it definitely hurt my fantasy chances of winning because I'm playing against them.
I played against them, too, bro. But
honestly,
I loved it.
if you saw that, the end of the game, Bucs went down and scored, and their onside kick was a beautiful onside kick. Stephon Diggs had to saved the
for
game.
that. Yes, he
he
did.
got laid out too for it.
Yeah,
And I
did.
respect that, Diggs. He saved the game. That was the best onside kick I've seen in a long
way
time.
it
That
went up
ball
and
popped up so
everybody had
high.
a chance at it.
I'm saying Diggs saved the game on that. And
Absolutely.
if Travion goes down there's no chance for the Bucs to
Run
score
out the
that
clock.
touchdown or get the onside kick.
Absolutely.
So again, I feel like the coaches should have said go down.
They
He
told
looked.
him to
I know.
score.
You can't say he did anything wrong because the coaches told him to.
Right,
but
he even looked.
he was smart enough to look. I don't think I've ever seen a person do that. Never mind a rookie. That was really
So
smart.
fast to be able
but
to
he
do
should have
that.
went down, and that's why
I
I think
agree.
he was looking. Should I go down? Because he was questioning it too.
Right.
The coaches should have known to tell him. That's
But
what I'm
Frankie,
saying.
he wasn't the only rookie getting involved.
No.
And even though it was 1 catch, Kyle Williams, 1 catch, 72 yards to turn on the Jets.
I loved it. You know what I did? And I put him in a parlay to have more than 60 yards. And I said, Adam, he's due for something. And Butte was out. So I'm like,
1
you know
catch,
what?
72.
He was
and
gone.
a touchdown.
And
bro.
Adam was like, there you go.
So starting to utilize the rookies, man. I like that. I mean, obviously, we're going to be getting Booty back pretty soon, but I hope they keep using Kyle Williams more. That speed was just crazy.
Both him and Travion. We've been saying Travion needs to touch the ball more.
Absolutely.
Kyle Williams got that speed too. You could just see it. They
Right
both
over
got
the
them
middle.
afterburners, 21 miles
Mind
an hour.
you, he did a slant, and then he was just gone, bro.
Yep.
So they look good there. Glad the rookies are getting their opportunities. The Patriots had third down issues, though. They were 5 for 14 on third down, but on the down that mattered most, fourth, they were 2 for 3.
Yep.
The O-line only allowed 1 sack, so they improved there from the last few weeks. They're allowing 12 sacks in 2 weeks, so they look good there.
And the Bucs defense is pretty good defense.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know what I mean?
The Patriots finished with 435 total yards, but there were situations that drove me nuts, Frankie. We need at most a field goal to make it an 8-point game on 3rd and goal, rather than throwing it away, Drake Maye just forces it into the end zone and throws that pick. That was one thing that drove me nuts.
When he started the game too, it was a little rainy. He was sailing the ball a little bit. I don't know if the rain was playing up, but that was a very bad turnover. First of all, you can't turn it over in the red zone like ever, especially when you're in field goal range. It's a close game at the time,
bro.
Like that's tough. So it's like you got to throw that ball away.
Just throw it out of the end zone.
But he's still learning. He's only his 2nd year. We talked about it last year.
But he's
in
being
college,
very efficient.
He barely even played any games in college.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
I get it though, man. You're trying to score and everything, but he has been efficient for the most part of the year. But now that's his 2nd interception on the goal line, so you just got to work on that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's got to be. You got to correct that.
He's still an MVP favorite, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He is in the favorite in the odds. Him and Matt Stafford are the top 2 on FanDuel and all the other sites right now. So.
And lastly, regardless of Henderson's big game, the running back depth is lacking now. Stevenson dealing with a toe injury, and now backup running back Terrell Jennings left with a knee injury and didn't return. So the running back room needs some help. Can't all be on Travion Henderson. Yeah. And I don't think Dearness Johnson's going to do much.
No, I mean, that's not. But Travion, again, he's good. He's a good player. We've been talking about that a lot. And I feel like
bringing him along like crazy though.
But I'm saying you bring him along slowly to start the season. He barely touched the ball this year.
Right.
Now he looks fresh, and they were talking about that on the ESPN.
Fresh legs.
He's wicked rested at this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're more than halfway through the season.
I think Ramondre should be back this week.
Ramondre's going to come back. That's one of the reasons why we're doing the rookie cut for him too, included this week. But again, he's rested. Ravion's rested at this point.
But still, running back room is lacking right now. What I noticed from the defense, though, Frankie, let's break it down real quick. Yes, so we held them to the same third down issues, 5 for 13 on third down as well. You know, the defense was looking good there. Yeah. Even with lacking wide receivers, Baker still threw 3 touchdowns, but threw 15 incompletions on 43 attempts. Our run defense finally allowed a 50-plus yard rusher, and it's not who you'd expect. Backup running back Sean Tucker 53 yards. I mean, I'll still take it, man. It's only 53. And lastly, letting up 273 receiving yards, 80-plus to tight end K. Dawton, and 110-plus to rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. We most certainly need cornerback and safety depth still, in my opinion.
Crazy. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it was just such a good game. The offense played pretty good. I mean, I don't know. Drake May's been playing out of his mind. You say MVP, he's, again, number 1, him and Matt Stafford for odds for MVP.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a stat that I wanted to bring up, too, is players in NFL history to have 2,500-plus passing yards, 70-plus completion percentage, 250 rushing yards, and 5 or fewer interceptions through 10 games of a season. Do you know who else had it besides Drake Maye?
Nobody.
He's the only one in NFL history, guys.
That's right, bro.
So that's like insane to just come up with that. Like he's playing out of his mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
MVP, baby.
Yeah.
But Frankie, let's bring up the upcoming Week 11 at home versus the Jets
I'm
on
gonna be at
Thursday
that
Night
game
Football.
too.
Are you?
Let me know if you're gonna be there.
Nice,
I'm gonna be there.
Absolutely, man. So the Jets, they earned their 2nd win of the season last week, even after all their defensive trades, beating the Browns 27-20, bringing their record to 2-7. So the Pats are home for this one, where our only 2 losses have come by 7 points or less. But this should be a cakewalk for the Pats, obviously.
I mean, this is a game that you cannot look past. Me and Miguel are going to the game. Yeah, I think it's one of those games you can't get caught. Like the Browns should have beat them too. I mean, they held Justin Fields like 56 yards passing, something crazy.
I know.
They scored two kick returns, a punt and a kick return. Like we got to watch special teams there, and we really got to. I mean, you don't want to have like some sort of trap game where you lose to a team like we already lost to a couple teams we shouldn't have lost to.
Right. Well, like you just said, the Jets only had 169 total yards last week. Drake Maye had more passing yards than that. So our defense that just gave the Bucs some problems, especially on third down, should have a field day versus the Jets.
I hope they do.
Their defense allowed Dylan Gabriel to throw 2 touchdowns, and their quarterback Justin Fields only completed 6 passes on 11 attempts, bro. And running back Breece Hall, he seems to be the focal point of that offense. You just got to really watch him.
Yeah, Breece Hall's nasty.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Wilson's not going to be there, too.
That's what I'm saying,
there's no
bro.
excuse for the Pats not to win.
Nope.
It should be a double-digit win.
And lastly, their defense did have 6 total sacks, and defensive end Will McDonald, he's a guy you got to take account for on that defense.
I mean, their defense has always been pretty good. I mean, they lost Sauce Gardner to a trade, so it's like that helps us, though. So let's go.
Just air it out, brother. But Frankie, obviously, we're going to bring up the predictions, bro. I'm taking the Patriots.
Me too, all day. Stop
yes, sir,
it.
brother.
Another great Foxboro focus, especially when we win. Let's get into
Sir.
a wicked smart fantasy stats. Keith, how'd you do in your league?
Yeah, I just
last
wish I
week?
won in fantasy. It was a good week for the Patriots, but not good for my fantasy team. So let's
There
start
you
in my
go.
league, brother. So unfortunately, in my league, in week 10, I lost 150.84 to 113.56, bringing my record to 5-5. I'm sitting in the 7th spot right now, one spot out of the playoffs, but I'm bringing up my studs real quick. Wide receiver Roma Dunze, 20.6. You know, he had 6 catches for 86 yards, 1 touchdown. I guess the words his dad were talking about getting him traded and everything really worked out.
All right.
Wide receiver Troy Franklin in that horrible Thursday night game last week versus the Raiders.
worst game
He got
in
me
history.
15 points, 5 catches, 40 yards, and the only Broncos touchdown.
Yep.
The Jets defensive special teams I started because I didn't want to start the Packers versus Philly. They got me 26.5,
crazy.
6 sacks, and like we were just talking about, 2 return touchdowns.
Insane right there.
Yes, sir. And then here are my duds. I'm never touching Bryce Young again in fantasy football. 2.56, 124 pass yards, a fumble, and an interception. Like we were talking about, Garrett Wilson, he might as well not even play. He got me 0 points on 3 targets, and he got hurt again, bro. Like, what the Running back Nick Chubb, 6.2, 52 total yards. Kicker Matt Prater, I needed to pick up a kicker because Kyami Fairbairn was hurt. I'm like, oh, you know, the Bills always get down there and see if he can make some field goals. He's a veteran. Only 1 point, only 1 PAT made, and the Bills lost, man. What the was going on last week?
know.
And then wide receiver A.J. Brown, please get this man out of Philly after this season. Only 3.3 points, 2 catches for 13
that's
yards,
funny.
Frankie. Let's hear it. How'd you do in my league?
I ended up losing. It's my second loss in your league. But again, I blame myself for changing out. It was supposed to be bad weather in Chicago, and it was. But I put in Bo Nix, one of the worst games in history, which I want to bring that up too in a minute. Like, give you some of the stats on that. It's insane. But anyways, some of my studs, I ended up losing 173.94 to 164.4. So I would have put up a ton of points too. I went up against Horton's breakfast when he had 2 guys go off. I mean, Travion had 32 and Jahmyr Gibbs had 40. They had 5 touchdowns between the 2 of them, and I
Right.
still should have beat them.
Right.
It was just dumb on my part. Trey McBride been an animal for me, 27.5 points. Brees Hall, you just talked about, 21.5. Denver's defense, I mean, against Las Vegas, who's terrible, 17 points. So those are some of my studs. Bo Nix only had 9 points in that game. He was my dud. Musgrave, I started thinking he might, emulate like Tucker Kraft, but nah, he's a bum. 5.3, and then my kicker got 6.9. So it is what it is. So how'd you do in my league, my man?
Yeah, Frankie, unfortunately, I lost in your league too,
Oh,
bro.
no.
Yeah, bringing
Double
my
dipped.
record to 5-5 in that league, but I still sit in the playoffs. I'm in the 5th spot right now.
You're ahead of me.
You know, I needed to beat Adam to kind of jump up to 3rd and everything. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I lost 171.14 to 146.02 to Adam. So let me bring up my studs. And you got to start with this guy, bro. Running back Jonathan Taylor got me 60.6. He had 244 rush yards, 42 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. That dude is an absolute animal.
You've been an animal.
Wide receiver Troy Franklin, I got in both leagues. You know, he had 15 points. And then wide receiver Jerry Judy's finally a stud, bro, but I lose the game. He got me 19.8, 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. And then here are the duds. Garrett Wilson, got him in both leagues, 0 points. Wide receiver Jordan Addison, 6.5, only 3 catches for 35 yards. Running back Terrell Jennings, I'm like, yeah, the guy got 13 touches last week for the Patriots, and with Ramondre hurt, I'm like, let me see what he can do. I had a lot of bye weeks. Literally, I had all my other running backs.
It makes sense. He was after what he did last week.
Gave a chance, and 0.5, and he got hurt.
Damn.
Tight end Brock Bowers, after that phenomenal game against you, Frankie.
Me, of course.
3.7,
Yeah, that's
one
what
catch
I'm
for
used to
31
seeing.
yards. Tight end Kyle Pitts, he only got me 5.8, 2 catches for 38
Damn.
yards. Wide receiver Pop Douglas, 5.4, only 2 catches for 34 yards. I figure with Booty not there, he's going to get more
I
looks.
thought he'd do all right, too.
And then Jalen Hurts, this dude's an absolute bum, bro. 13.2, I'm starting Drake May this week.
I traded him to you, so there
Yes,
you go.
sir. Frankie, how'd you do in
I
your
won.
league?
I needed to win in my league. I don't want to wear that dress, but I beat Miguel. Sorry, Miguel.
The only win between both of us in all the leagues.
I'm saying terrible. 164.4, which is almost the exact same score I had in your league, to 141.96 or 142. Some of my studs, Josh Allen got just over 20 points. Kamani Vidal, great pickup for me, 17.8. And then Tez Johnson, 20 for him. So Denver's D in both leagues, 17. Duds, I didn't have a ton of duds. A lot of my guys were double digits. My lowest one was Zach Ertz at 9.4, and then I had my kicker on a bye, and I picked up Fitzgerald on Carolina, who was absolutely horrible against the Saints. He got 1. And my next lowest guy was Mark Andrews at 10.4. So everybody else was higher than 10.4. So
Not bad, Frankie. I wish I could have won in both leagues, but it's very
I
unfortunate.
would have won in yours for 2 reasons. If I picked up Kate Otten instead of Luke Musgrave and started Otten, he had 17 points. Or if I started Williams over Bo Nix. I had Williams in all week because he had the better matchup, but then when I saw the weather, I was like, I better change it.
You got to take that for account of that and everything. But
But
Frankie, let me get into my weekly
Do it.
sleepers for Week 11, bro. And number one, I'm going to start with Commanders running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt at the Dolphins. So regardless of his last 3 games being very underwhelming, all under 40 total yards, he has a very favorable matchup in Week 11 on the road, regardless of them holding James Cook in check, which obviously the Dolphins did last week against the Bills.
Yep.
The Dolphins have the 30th ranked rush defense and are allowing the 3rd most rush yards, tied 5th most rush yards, and allowing the 5th most total fantasy points to running backs, along with averaging the 6th most points per game to running backs in fantasy.
Yep.
Especially with the Commanders team missing their starting quarterback, they should rely heavily on their run game, and JCM should put up some good numbers in this game.
Okay.
Number 2, I got Texans running back Nick Chubb at the Titans.
Okay.
We're officially at a point in this man's career we're calling him a sleeper, bro. Last time the Texans played the Titans in Week 4, they killed them 26-0, and Chubb had 15 total touches. I could see the game script repeating itself this week, regardless of the Titans' bye week. And Woody Marks out touching Nick Chubb in recent games. Marks got a little banged up last week, so Chubb should have more of an opportunity this upcoming week. Chubb has had 9 or more rush attempts in 7 of the 9 games this season, and going against a 27th ranked Titans run defense, allowing the 4th most rush yards to go along with the 2nd most total point per game fantasy points to opposing running backs, should bode well for the veteran Chubb this week.
Yeah, I like that.
And then number 3, I got Bengals wide receiver Andre Yoshibas at the Steelers. Now, another guy where you need to look in depth at the matchup. Obviously, you got, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase over there, because Yoshibas has not had a fantasy appealing season. Only 16 catches, 236 yards, and 1 touchdown. But that 1 touchdown came in Week 9 versus the Bears before the Bengals bye week, where he had 5 catches for 66 yards and that touchdown I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And I believe that could potentially translate into this week. The Steelers rank dead last in pass defense, and they're not getting any breaks, especially against a well-rested Bengals team off a bye week. The Steelers also rank 30th in total defense. They're allowing the most receptions to wide receivers, obviously PPR value,
Yep.
the most receiving yards to wide receivers, and in terms of fantasy points, they are allowing the 7th most total fantasy points and the 4th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. So I could potentially see Yoshibas having a good game here, possibly getting in the end zone.
I like that. That's
Frankie,
not bad.
let's hear those FanDuel picks, brother.
Yeah, my FanDuel's looking pretty good this week. So JJ McCarthy's kind of my discounted guy at quarterback this week. 6,800 going up against Chicago, 2nd worst defense for fantasy quarterback. So it really, the numbers are definitely in McCarthy's favor. He just came off a good week this past week, almost 250 yards, a couple touchdowns, and he ran the ball a lot, which Jackson Dott ran a lot against Chicago too, which is one of the reasons why he got concussed. But nonetheless, I think he'll put up some numbers. I stacked him with Justin Jefferson at 86. Again, the secondary of Chicago is pretty terrible, so I like that. I got Marvin Harrison at 6,500, not bad. San Fran's all banged up, as we talked about.
Yep.
And then one of my discounted guys of the week and kind of a revenge game kind of thing, and they're going to be playing in an absolute shootout. Cooper Kupp going back to the Rams. I mean,
I like that.
He's only 5,300. He missed a game a week or 2 ago, so it's like he feels like he could be a little bit more rested. And then lastly, discount wise, Kyle Pitts, 20. He's only 5,000, and then playing Carolina, who actually is just terrible some weeks and sometimes they're good. So
ends.
yeah, I mean, he's only 5,000. He's due for a game too. So
he is.
Here's my team here. Let me know what you think.
Yes, sir. Like you just said, JJ McCarthy is going up against Chicago, and especially in Week 1 where he got his first career win against Chicago.
That's
and
right.
he played very well there.
Yeah.
Running back Christian McCaffrey going against Arizona. That's always a sure bet.
Yep.
Travis Etienne, they're going to be relying a lot on the run, especially with the banged up wide receiving core with the Jaguars.
For sure.
Justin Jefferson against Chicago. He always gets his against those guys.
saying.
Wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. against the 49ers. Banged up defense. You expect big things from him.
Yeah.
And we're at the point in this man's career calling him a sleeper, like you said, Cooper Kupp versus his former team, the Rams.
I'd like to see him do something.
I'm sure he's going to go
gonna
off
be a
against
shootout.
them.
That game's
That's what
gonna
I'm
be a
saying.
shootout.
And I'm sure it's going to be good for him to obviously put it to the Rams.
Yep.
Tight end Kyle Pitts, like you said, he's due a big one, especially against Carolina. They're not good against tight ends. Then you got Quinshawn Judkins in the flex versus Baltimore's horrible
They're
defense.
terrible.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And he's been running hard.
Yeah.
And then you got the Falcons defense versus Bryce Young in the Panthers.
3,300 for them. They're cheap money, and they're going up. They're at home this time, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like they got shut out 30-0. Now
Last
they got,
time.
Yeah, now they got a chip on their shoulder. I think they're gonna put it to Bryce Young. Bryce Young just lost to the Saints. They only scored 7 points against the Saints.
Dude, Bryce
Forget
Young
about it.
sucks.
Terrible.
Yes, sir, Frankie. Good stuff, brother. Good luck
Love
this
it.
week.
You too, man. Let's get into a new lava round. Tied you up, Keith, last week, baby.
Man, bro, I texted you too. I was like, you
Got you. That was a great comeback by Davis Mills, thank you, my man. What do we got? Let's go over our record. Let's hit it.
So NFL weekly picks, from week 10. Let's break it down real quick.
Buddy.
So Frankie, you went 11-3 last week,
Damn
bringing
right.
your overall record to 98-50-1.
Yep.
I went 9-5. You got the 2 differences on me, and bringing my overall record, we're tied up 98-50.
That's crazy. We're tied this late. That's good.
Yes, sir, man. It's been a battle.
Battling back and forth every week.
Yes, sir, Frankie. But we got the NFL Week 11 picks. You name them, we'll predict them, brother. Get it popping.
The game I'm going to be at, Jets at Pats. We already talked about it. We're both taking Pats. Next game, we're going Commanders at Dolphins. Who you got there?
So, Frankie, call me crazy, bro. It's in Miami and everything, and the Commanders are very banged up. I'm taking the Dolphins here.
I had the Dolphins, sir.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to take them.
I'm like, the Commanders are so banged up. They look like Dookie.
Big statement win last week
Mariota
versus the
looks
Bills.
crazy. Like, he don't even know what to do out there
Right.
half the time.
None
He's
of
like,
them do.
I'm saying, it's like, what's going on? So, I'm going Dolphins after that big win they just had.
And
But every time we pick the Dolphins, they lose. Just so everyone knows.
Another
Don't put
thing,
money
though,
on that.
the Commanders might not have McLaurin or Burks again, and Debo's a little banged up still.
I'm saying the Commanders are banged up. They're one of the most hurt teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's be real. So
JCM's going to be the only person on that team doing anything next week.
I'm saying, yeah, he should, but Dolphins should hopefully win that game.
After a big statement win versus the
I'm
Bills.
saying, I like them meeting the Bills for
That's
us.
what I'm saying.
Packers at Giants. I'm going Packers all day.
Yeah, I'm going Packers. Giants are banged up, too.
Texans at Titans. I'm going Texans.
Texans all day, bro. The Titans are horrible.
Not
I don't even
even
care after
not
a bye
even
week.
question there.
Right.
Panthers at Falcons. I'm definitely going Falcons.
Falcons, bro.
Bears at Vikings. Interesting game here. I mean, the Chicago had them in that game for a while until the end there, but I don't know. What do you like on that one?
Honestly, Frankie, it's in Minnesota. I'm going to be taking the Vikings.
I got
here.
the Vikings circled here too, and I got to go with them too. It's just one of those games where it's
All
like,
right.
I like the way Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson's got them playing though.
No, they're starting
But they've
to gel a
had
little
two
bit.
late comebacks that they shouldn't have been behind as much as the Jets.
They're
I mean,
clicking.
against the Giants, but
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't. Vikings defense pretty good usually. Chargers at Jags. I'm actually taking the Chargers in this, even though Jags are like hit or miss.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, you going that. This is an interesting game. Bucs going to the Bills. The Bills just lost. The Dolphins have the 3rd worst defense in the league. It's like, who you got there?
Yeah, it's in Buffalo, and even earlier in the year when I said the Bills weren't going to lose back-to-back, and they did to us and the Falcons.
Yeah, they did.
But I'm going to tell you right now, though, Josh Allen understands what's at stake right now. He's not going to be losing to the Bucs, especially in his own stadium. I'm taking the Bills.
I mean, I had a question mark on this game. Seemed like an interesting game.
Me too.
but
It's the last one I picked.
It's got to be to me, it has to be the Bills because it's in Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, I don't know, the Bucs are so banged up too. And Bucky Irvin and Godwin both out again this week, most likely. So
right.
it's just
and
whatever.
they don't got Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in Buffalo, and all the fans are going to be jumping on tables and
Yeah, jump on the table. Anyways, Bengals at Steelers. That's a divisional game there. Pretty interesting one. What do you got there?
So, Frankie, I'm actually taking an upset here, and I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, see, I had a question mark, as you can see on mine here, and I'm like, and then
Cross off.
Yeah, you got the cross off. I got the question mark, but I ended up circling Steelers after looking at it a little bit. So I think they get the ship right here. And again, I don't know, but the Bengals have been playing real good with Flacco.
And they're coming off a bye week.
I know. I do like the Bengals live. That was one of the ones I had 3 question marks on my sheet, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Steelers at home. I'm gonna have the defense doing something this
One
week.
difference.
So, yep. 49ers going to the Cards. Who do you got there?
Even though the 49ers are banged up, the Cardinals, man, they're not looking good either. I'm going to be taking the 49ers here.
I got the 49ers circled here too. Although, Jacoby Brissett looked pretty good over there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right,
so.
but they looked rough at the start of that game versus Seattle.
Well, Seattle
last
is
week.
in a league above for
Yeah,
sure of the
crazy.
Cardinals. But speaking of Seattle at the Rams probably is the game of the week.
Game of the week.
It's going to be one of the games, top 2 games of this week. There's 3 really good games. This is one of them.
Right, and it's in LA. I'm taking the Rams here.
I got the Rams circled too, even though the Seahawks have been playing out of their minds.
Yeah, they have been, but I'm
they
taking the
were
Rams.
killing the Cardinals. It was
Right.
it was embarrassing. It was 21-0 before you even blinked your eyes.
Jared Verse is going to have 4 sacks in this game.
4 sacks? No, I don't know about that, but I like the Rams defense better than the Seahawks defense. Although the Seahawks are playing good. Another really good division game. Chiefs going to Denver. Who you got there?
You already know I'm taking the Broncos.
I'm taking the Chiefs. So,
Okay.
the Broncos just played so bad against Vegas. Although
Yeah, but they always play good against the Chiefs.
I'm saying the Chiefs screwed me already once this year when I took the Chiefs, and I don't know, but I have to take the Chiefs. I love the Broncos defense,
Taking the
but I just
Broncos.
don't like how inefficient and weird. Bo Nix is either super good or super terrible.
And this week he's
And
going to be super good, brother.
Chiefs defense pretty good, so I'm taking the Chiefs. That's going to be a really
2
interesting
differences.
game. Yep. Ravens going to the Browns. I got the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
All day. This is the other game of the week, if not the game of the week. Lions at the Eagles. I got a question mark on this one, too.
Yeah, I
What do
did
you got?
too. And Frankie, kind of looking in depth on this, and I'm just taking the home factor here. I'm taking Philly.
I got to take Philly, too. The defense has been playing out of the... I mean, the Green Bay looked terrible last night.
Yeah,
We were
they
just
did.
talking about how good 2 weeks ago Jordan Love looked. Only player in NFL history to do 350, 20 completions, all that
stuff.
nonsense. and he just looked like a deer in
He
headlights.
looked lost.
He looked like a deer in headlights
Yes,
out
he
there.
did.
So Eagles defense is phenomenal.
Right.
Lions can put up points. That's going to be an interesting game. I mean, I could see the Lions winning that game. But
I could too, but I'm just gonna take the.
I'm
home
going to go.
factor.
I got to go with the Eagles too. Yep. So last game, Cowboys at Raiders. I got to go Cowboys.
You gotta
Raiders
go
are terrible.
Cowboys there, man. Come on, bro.
Love it, man. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck, Frankie.
Another great live round, man. You know, another great show. Good luck on the stat challenge. You guys have been killing it. Thanks for sharing and liking, subscribing, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Frankie, you're getting a phone call, brother.
Just never stops up in this joint.
What is it this time? Let's hear it, bro.
Hello.
I love the way your generation sums things up so eloquently.
I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. We strive to put on a good show. Yeah. Just hung up on me. Okay.
What?
Cool. I mean,
What was that all
he was
about?
giving me a compliment, then he hung up. I don't know.
Okay, that's weird. Frankie, finish your lines.
Again, guys, thank you. Good luck this week. Thanks for sharing, subscribing. All. Here we go.
Now I'm getting a phone call. Sorry, everybody. Hello?
You guys used to be the Horsemen.
Horseman. I don't know what the you're talking. You just hung up on me, too.
People be hanging up tonight. Same guy? I wonder. I don't know.
Frankie, I don't know what's going on. You might know. Break it down for me.
It's the new movie. Now you see me. Now you don't. It's actually the third installment of Now You See Me. This looks so good. The other two were great.
Yeah, man, they do all the magic and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But Frankie, speaking of magic and everything, how about we do some magic and get up on out of here, bro?
I like that. From Beantown to your town, stay Wicked Pissah.
What the I'm not cleaning all that up, but let me try something real quick. From Foxboro to your borough, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week.